last season on Hunting with Tripler. Here it is, the Barbie minivan. And it just had the biggest score of the year. And finally, this is the more risky stuff. All right, the unit is all cleaned out. This is season 2 of Hunting with Tripler. I can't believe we've gotten this far, and all I can tell you is that I'm excited for you to be here. This season is gonna be exciting. We're gonna have bigger finds, we're gonna have way more fun, and I just wanna say thank you for all of you for being here. So sit back, you do not wanna miss today's episode.
I collect so many things, would you like to share this journey with me? I will show you the prizes I got today. So come along with me, come on and join in the chase, yeah!
What is happening, folks, and welcome to season 2 of Hunting with Tripler. My name is Nick. I'm also known as Tripler, which is of course very strange and weird. We've got to start with a little bit of business. 3 months ago, I mentioned that the moment I get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And that is for an Xbox One X 4K edition. I have to say, just thank you. Thank you sincerely for helping me get to 500 subscribers. And this is my way of saying thank you to all of you. So you have to watch the video because in today's episode, somewhere in the video, I'm going to give out a question. Now, for all of you that physically answer the question in the comments, you will be eligible to actually win this Xbox One X. You also have to be a subscriber, so if you've been a passive viewer, now is the time to be a subscriber. I really want to extend a thank you to all the resellers in the community who have helped me get to 500. I'm not going to name all of you by names because there have been so many of you who have extended a hand, brought your audience to me, and all I can tell you is thank you. Sincerely. Let's get on to the episode because in today's episode, we are going to be doing something a little bit interesting. Over the last couple of months, many of you have had to do something relatively unique in terms of trying to go out and source. And for a lot of you, much like myself, there haven't been garage sales. There haven't been any thrift stores open. So you've had to get creative. And I have to say, for any of you who have gotten creative, make sure you don't abandon those efforts because quite honestly, those are the things that give you an edge as a reseller. Because probably, much like many of you, when I go to a thrift store, I'm competing against 50 or 60 other resellers in the course of a day at any given thrift store. And at all the garage sales I go to, it's the same story. There are so many resellers in Southern California and all across the country that you want to have an edge. And if you found a way to go out and source over the last couple of months, make sure you stick to it. Do not abandon your efforts. So with that, today's episode is really going to focus on me picking up items from a YouTube auction, and specifically from 2 channels. The first channel is from Locker Nuts. Locker Nuts is an awesome channel. I've mentioned it before in previous episodes, but Locker Nuts does an awesome job of showing you kind of the good and the bad of picking up storage lockers. But he also does live YouTube auctions for resellers like myself to pick up goods that they can go out and resell on places like eBay and Amazon. So recently I picked up a Game Boy lot, but the problem I have is I have to make more time to do these auctions. They are time consuming, and to be able to know when the items that you are searching for are gonna show up can be a little bit cumbersome. The second auction I went to is from Ecom and Beyond. Anthony had a Wii set that a couple of months ago were really hot, they still are, and I was able to pick up one for very little money and I flipped it within 24 hours. So I'm gonna show all of those things for you in today's episode. If you've stuck around so far, I can't wait to show you the fun that we're gonna have this season. Here's a little sneak preview. A plastic bag, we'll take it outside. Two Nintendo Switch lights. And this, plus this. All right. And we did get another Chipper Jones. All right, folks, so this is exactly what I got. Everything's laid out. I paid $165 for this entire lot. The Game Boy Color Yellow was in excellent condition, so there really wasn't any additional parts and pieces that I needed to purchase for this. As you can see, this probably just needs a pretty decent wipe down here, but otherwise, I will probably include both back plates since there were two included, because this one looks, I think this is aftermarket, this is probably original, but for the most part, these will sell for about between 50 and 65 depending upon the day. Now right now this one is probably the more desirable. It's the original shell, but as we kind of keep looking, it needs a back plate. But look at that side, it's just horrible. So we're going to replace this shell altogether. Now I've already turned this on, tested it, I know it works, so I know the board and the screen are in good condition, so it was worth replacing. So again, I would put another $50 to $65 on this item here. I haven't looked this up, but this is an owner's manual for Pokemon Crystal, and I actually have the game, so I could probably lot those two together. This is pretty nice, A Link to the Past, so this is for Game Boy Advance. I have the box for this, so I think what I might do is add this to the box. I don't have the Game Boy Advance game version of this, so maybe I'll just continue to piece it together. So this is probably a keep. And then Dragon Ball Z, The Legacy of Goku. I can't imagine this is worth a whole lot of money, but you know, some collectors like this, so I'd say maybe a couple bucks. But it's really the games that were the surprising part. So let's talk about the games. The Godzilla game here is not worth, I don't think it's worth anything. Donkey Kong Land 2, this is a good game. This is probably $10 to $15. Warzone, not really worth much. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. If you're a Super Mario fan, this is definitely one you gotta have in your collection, and this is, of course, for Game Boy Color. This is Vigilante 8. I think it's Vigilante 8. This does have a missing battery cover plate, and I haven't tested this one yet, so that doesn't look very good on the board there. So Mario Golf, this is a nice game to have. This is probably worth 10 bucks. But then this game here is really the surprise. I've already wiped down as much of the face as I could. This was just completely blacked out. The only thing that I could see in the auction photo was the V there. And I was like, could that be Mega Man 5 for Game Boy? And if it is, that's definitely worth 75 to 85 to even more, depending upon condition. So of course, when I got it, I was extremely happy, because what I've done is I bought a replacement label. But don't fear for anyone who's going, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Now, I've already tested the game and it works. I was so ecstatic, especially since you can see that this corner has been totally ripped away. So this game here I'll pull a replacement cartridge and the label, and I'll apply it to this. I'll pull the actual board. I'm gonna include the original cartridge and shell with the label for the auction, with the new shell and label, with probably the cartridge here will go into the new one, and I'll just say here's the old one, this is original, and then I'll probably put $85 to $90 on it, and I think it might sell pretty well. For the new shell for this one, I paid $10, so that's $175. For the back battery plate for this one, I paid $5. We're at $180. I love finding lots like this because I enjoy tinkering with electronics. I like refurbishing things. I like putting them back to original. It just kind of has a completion feeling to it, and that's something that I appreciate as a reseller. All right, folks, we are now back. It's been a few days. All the parts I have ordered, and I have them here, and I am ready to now take this auctioned purchased lot that I got from Locker Nuts, and I am going to not necessarily restore everything, but I'm going to get it ready for purchase, and I'll kind of lay out all of what I'm doing here momentarily. So take a look at what we have from left to right. Okay, folks, we have two Game Boys here. These are potentially going to be the swaps for this one that came in box. I have the connector. I'm not sure what kind of cable this is called, but this is This is a Game Boy to Game Boy connection cable. So I had one sitting around, so that should likely complete that. It obviously comes with a manual. These two slots here on the far left, I still have to look to see what's in those. I can't find anything. So it could just be an AC adapter, which makes sense, but I'll have to double check. Don't know yet. Here we have the purple Game Boy Color, and now that I'm looking at it right up close, it actually wasn't purple. It was just kind of clear, but as you go to the back, it kind of has a purple hint to it, but that's okay. So I'll replace the shell, and we will now have a real nice finished body Game Boy Color. I don't think it's called Atomic Purple, but clear purple. The Game Boy Advance here. Now, you know what? This is frustrating because I did have the back panel. That is curious. Where's that at? All right, we'll have to come back to that because that might still be at my home. I'll have to find out. This is the swap we're gonna make. Now again, as I mentioned before, this particular game, what I will do is I will include the original cartridge and the original label, keep it as is. I bought a replacement label, and I'm going to use this game as the donor. I'm gonna double check the value of that game. I assumed based on the games that I had, that was probably the lowest priced one. Otherwise, I will use Godzilla because I know that game is not worth anything. This stack of manuals, the only ones that have real value is the Link to the Past and the Crystal version. I'll probably put those individually, maybe $5 for A Link to the Past and maybe 10 or 15 for Crystal version. The rest of these are just games that will sell. I have a quantity of 3 listed up on eBay right now. I'll up that to 4 because I forgot I had this one. So let's get started on getting all of this ready to go, getting all this quote unquote refurbished and ready for sale. Restoration complete on the Game Boy Color. Looks fantastic. Let's plug it in and make sure it works. Okay. All right, it works. With the Game Boy Advance, and motherboard and the screws are in here. The screen is in fine condition, so I'm gonna leave that there. This Wagner heat gun to just heat up the top a little bit. You can see I started to peel that corner. And to make things a little bit easier for myself, I am going to just heat it very, very quickly. You cannot leave it on for long, otherwise you'll melt the cartridge. And then it should be a lot easier to pull off. And then we will make the cartridge swap. So I cleaned it, and it looks awesome, ready to receive the new label. And then I looked at this again and I was like, you know, why is this fading? And I realized, oh my God, this is not a black cartridge. So I've got to go back and steal another game. I just wasted a label. Well, sorry, Rugrats. You will be forever the faceless game. We have made the swap, and you can always tell on these replacement labels that just the resolution on them is definitely not as good as, and you can even tell on this one that the resolution just isn't quite the same. Again, like I said, I'm definitely going to mention that this is a replacement cartridge and a replacement label, and I'll include this in. So that's ready to go as well. We're looking pretty good here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final layout of everything that has been refurbished, taken care of, and ready for sale. So let's go through it. Again, that's the transfer pack for the Game Boy. I did nothing to these games at all, and I didn't do anything to these manuals. So again, these will just go up on eBay as is, and the games, I'll probably do something like this. This will get lotted like this. This will probably end up something like this. Now, the Game Boy Color Yellow just needed a deep cleaning, and that's really all that happened. I was able to get it looking pretty good. There's definitely wear on it, but the game plays perfectly fine, and it should go between 40 and 50 bucks. This Game Boy Color, the clear purple now, it's in very good condition. I mean, it's effectively in mint condition. There's one flaw on the back screen, but all in all, it's really, really nice. Plays perfectly, so I'm extremely happy with the quality there. I took this apart, as you guys saw. I cleaned it aggressively. The screen does have some just general wear, no deep gouges or scratches like that. But the system now and I did find the back plate, by the way, guys. It looks fantastic. It's in really great condition. It turns on without any issues. It plays great. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. Again, the Mega Man, I'm gonna sell it as you're seeing it right here. The new cartridge is on the right, and then I'll give them the original, which is on the left. Now the Game Boy in-box, the accessories that I had the transfer cable, and I had Tetris. I swapped out the back screen, or excuse me, the front screen for a known working unit, and then I took the back off of a known working unit, or just a clean unit, and took the front off the one that came with this one. So all in all, it turned out to look really clean. The front looks really nice. I've tested it, looks great. The box isn't in amazing condition, but it will suffice. The sides are okay. The back has writing on it, and then that, I could try to get that off, but I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. And that is it in the entirety. Some of these items are desirable items, and they retain their value regardless, the in-box Game Boy and Mega Man. So let's get these listed. I'll show you what they look like, and then we'll do a recap on the sales, hopefully a week from now. Guys, this is it. If you want to be entered into the giveaway, you have to be subscribed, and you have to answer this question down in the comments, okay? And you will be randomly selected. It isn't going to just be the first person who answers it. It's simply going to be random. That being said, in season 1, episode number 22, what was the item I picked up at a thrift store that you would use in the kitchen? And it might be something relatively nostalgic from the 90s. It has a really beautiful phrase for the infomercial to the effect of something like, set it and forget it. What's that item? Put it in the comments. And the Game Boy in-box, even as bad as the box was, sold for $115.95. That was just an awesome sale, and I was really excited with how quickly it sold. And Mega Man 5 for Game Boy sold for $119.95. Great sale. I ended up lotting together the yellow Game Boy with Donkey Kong Land 2 and the holder, the case, and I put a $55 price tag on it, and it sold really quick, so was very excited about that. The Glacier Clear Game Boy Advance, again, sold really quick. These were pretty poor games to lot in there, so for $65, very happy. And the big surprise was the Atomic Purple Game Boy Color. I got $80 for that. That was awesome. So the profit breakdown was really fantastic. The expected revenue here is about $450. That's before any fees. The auction cost was $165. That was my buy price for locker nuts. I spent just about $20 on materials from eBay to finish off those Game Boys that were missing some parts. So in all, the fees that I paid to eBay, PayPal, were about $50. And then I included the combined total for shipping, which was just about $25. So all in all, my total expenses were about $260 against my expected revenue of $450, which means my profit on this was $190. And that, my friends, was absolutely worth it. All right, folks, and that was today's episode. As you can see, the profits were actually very, very good, and I'm not surprised I did so well because, as you can see, The competition on some of these auctions were relatively limited. It's a great place for you to get out there and source items that other people might not be coveting so much, that you can get in and swoop at a really great price. This is gonna be an awesome year, and garage sales are starting to open up, thrift stores are starting to open up, so we're gonna be really safe, we're gonna be really cautious, but we're gonna get out there and we are gonna start hunting. And also next week I wanna show you a couple of things that some of my YouTuber friends have been doing really successfully, which is trading Switch lights for old game system and game collections. And I got in on the fun, so you don't wanna miss next week's episode. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Take care.
Here is what
Next time on Hunting with Tripler.
looks like. I'll take a photo of this.
It is 24 hours, not even. I would probably ask maybe $75 to $85.
Do any justice to what I'm seeing, but that yellowing has diminished.